Folks, welcome to Democracy Ish. I'm Danielle Moodie, and we come to you today with extraordinarily upsetting, devastating, outrageous breaking news of the arrest of Don Lemon, of Georgia Fort, of Traheen Crews, and others who have been arrested for being a part of the press and covering the church protest in Minnesota. Donald Trump's DOJ was denied multiple court orders for that arrest. He had multiple denials and went to an appeals and then found a grand jury to indict these people. They are in federal custody right now. We're going to talk about it. Waj, you've been on air with Joy and just tapped out of that to come over to our show. Your reactions. Let's just share our reactions.
You know, my reactions was I was shocked but not surprised, but I was shocked, and it's good to be shocked, and you have to be shocked because this is not normal. As you said, Don Lemon is a colleague, he's a friend. Regardless of what you think about him, if they can come after journalists for simply doing their jobs, if they can abridge our First Amendment rights, which is what they're doing against the ICE protesters in Minnesota, if they can go against our Fourth Amendment rights and barge into homes without a search warrant, if they're now telling you, oh, by the way, don't bring your gun to a protest, which is against the Second Amendment right, if they can go after Don, if they can kill Renee Nicole Good, if they can kill Alex Preddy, two white people and American citizens, and before their blood is even cold, they can lie about them, dehumanize them, call them domestic terrorists, instead of investigating their murderers, begin investigation into their spouses, which is what they did with Renee Nicole Good, justify their murder, and rationalize it. Danielle, what will they do to you? And I'm going to keep saying this again and again and again. For all the privileged folks, and that's not just white folks. I'm talking about the privileged folks. I try to bring in my own community, the people I've talked to, brown folks, Asian folks, black folks, who live in the nice suburbs with the nice zip codes and drive the Tesla and drink the rosé and golf with Chet, who voted for Trump and or still to this day tell me, Danielle, cycles, we've been through this before, it'll be fine. No, it won't. We have not been through this before in this way. This is a fascist regime playing for all the marbles. They are openly flouting the rule of law because they believe the law doesn't apply to them. They're unleashing ICE masked armed terror groups to patrol your cities. We were fine with it in America when it was black folks and brown bodies. Now white people are dying. They're unleashing the National Guard against the American people. They have threatened to use the Insurrection Act. They're blowing up NATO. They are straight up invading countries, stealing their oil, and not even using the oil for the American public, Danielle. They're just putting it in an offshore account. They do not care about you, your family, your zip code, and your complexion. If they can kill Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy, they can kill you. And white journalists, colleagues who work at CBS and the Free Press, colleagues who work at New York Times and The Atlantic, who have just discovered the F-word fascism last week, even though we've been on it for 10 years, colleagues who just discovered ICE, maybe it's not good, colleagues who told us Charlie Kirk did politics the right way, colleagues who said, now, brown cow, be civil. Look what they did to Don Lemon. They're going to do it to you. Sorry for my rant.
No, this is what we're doing today. We're not making apologies, and we're not gonna like move forward in a place of apology. As when I woke up this morning and I saw the news, I have to tell everyone, I am terrified, right? Waj and I and so many of our independent media colleagues have been saying that this moment was going to come. Who was it going to be? right? What journalists were they going to make an example of to shut the rest of us up? We've been saying this, right? And there is a reason why we have been saying support independent media, because independent media is the only place that is telling you the truth. It is the only people. But I want folks to understand, because I want to be really fucking clear, that to be independent means that you do not have a network that is behind you, means that you don't have a network that has a team of lawyers that are behind you. That means that the money that is going to go, right, in order to get these people out of jail, to get their cases, right, defended by thoughtful and smart attorneys, that money is coming out of their pocket. There is a reason, right? There is a reason why Donald Trump is making an example of Black gay journalists, right? There's a reason why he's been making an example of Black women, because we have always known what is at risk. We have always been on the front lines, because we know that we didn't need Martin Niemöller's poem, because we've always known that when they come for one, they're going to come for all, which is why we've never waited for our particular group to be called. We have always just been ready. And so I tell folks that are listening right now, right, that are watching, that will watch later, there is a reason why Waj and I had came to independent media. And it was because we wanted the freedom and the ability to tell the truth. And that comes at a fucking cost, right? Georgia Ford, who was also arrested, is a smaller journalist than Don Lemon, right? She doesn't have Don Lemon's millions of dollars, right? Her children can be heard in the video that I'm going to play of the moment that federal agents that were masked and looking through her windows, her children were in her home screaming. So this is not like a fucking game, right? For everybody that keeps saying and keeps thinking these fucking like ridiculous thoughts about midterm elections, folks, we are living inside of a week where Donald Trump has seized election records. This is not about the fucking past. This is not about rejudicating 2020. This is about 2026 and every fucking year coming, right? This is about every election. This is about every shred of power. In this week, they have seized electoral records. They have arrested journalists, right? They have stolen and kidnapped children from school, right? Like, folks, this is the moment. Everyone keeps saying, like, when is it going to be? When is it going to be? When is the moment? And today is supposed to be a national strike. And I am telling you, I've been saying this, that it is the only thing that is going to shut this country down. And it doesn't matter if you were in one of the groups that have not been called or targeted yet. He is coming for everyone, because if you can shoot a white mother in the head, if you can shoot a white man 10 times in the street, then you can do whatever the fuck it is that you want. And that is what they are doing right now. This is the escalation. This is the moment. Right? This isn't just about who is Don Lemon and who is this person. This is the moment. You are being fucking called. You're on mute. Waj, mute.
It's the Niemöller poem. And people, everyone mentions that first they came for, and then they came for, and then they came for, and they came after me, and there was no one left. That poem was written as a lament. It was written with regret. That poem was written years later because Niemöller himself, the Lutheran pastor, went along with it. As Danielle said, he was one of the people who said, it'll be okay. They're just going after the Jews. They're going after the socialists. They won't go after me. The system will hold. And then years later, he's like, oh, I made a mistake. So I always want you to remember, folks, that poem was written in lament and in regret. And it was a warning for the rest of us, for future generations. Don't make the same mistake I did. Don't make the same mistakes we did, where we thought our complexion, our ethnicity, our zip code would protect us. As we have said time and time again, fascists come for everyone. Today, more Epstein files released. Today, massive national strike against ICE. Yesterday, if we have time, we'll talk about it. they were kind of on the back foot, although I still think Schumer caved, and I'll explain later. But weakness. Yesterday, the polls came out. Pew polls. Terrible for Donald Trump. 36 approval rating. Negative double digits on immigration. So what do they always do? And sorry for me being so blunt. They always give the MAGA base a black or brown scalp. Time and time again. Oh, we know what you like. Oh, we know what fills your belly. Oh, we know what could distract you from the high prices, our lies, the corruption, our failure to release the Epstein files. Here's Don Lemon's scalp. A couple of days ago, here's Ilhan Umar's scalp. A couple of days before that, here's some Somalis. Before that, Letitia James. Yesterday, without mentioning it, it was also Fani Willis. She was a prosecutor in Fulton County. And they made a mistake, folks. They wanted black and brown bodies being killed in Minnesota. The mistake that happened was these ICE thugs killed 2 white people. Danielle, 2 white people were killed. 2 white people's death were videotaped. And I guarantee you, Danielle, that if it was black or brown people, it wouldn't have been that much of a fuss. And not only that, they would have relished it, embraced it, ran with it on right-wing media. They're still trying to dehumanize Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Goode, but because there's so much evidence and their lies are so egregious, it's in fact radicalizing white people against the Trump administration. I'm talking about white MAGA, not all white folks, okay? So they are so pissed off there was Renee Nicole Goode and Alex Preddy, and that's what Lev said also. So Lev Barnes, former Trump insider who still has context, he said the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Goode, it wasn't the deaths that pissed him off, Danielle.
No.
The fact that there were white bodies and they couldn't spin it. If they can go after all these folks, they can go after you. And it's not just Don. And to Danielle's point, Bondi, this is federal, folks. This is
I have the names. I have
Georgia Fort,
yeah, it's
Don Lemon,
yep,
Jamael Lundy,
yep,
and Traheen Crews.
yeah. They are, and I want to be very clear, and I thank you, Mandy, for dropping the names
Oh, thank you, Mandy.
in the chat. Right now, NPR. This is what Pam Bondi posted on social media. At my direction, early this morning, federal agents arrested Don Lemon, Traheen Crews, Georgia Fort, and Jamael Lundy in connection with the coordinated attack on City's Church in Paul, Minnesota. I want people to understand here the language that she used. I'm going to read it again. This was what Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, right, wrote on X today about journalists. At my direction, early this morning, federal agents arrested Don Lemon, Traheen Crews, Georgia Fort, and Jamael Lundy in connection with the coordinated attack on City's Church in Paul, Minnesota. Folks, again, I'm going to say this. When we tell you for the last several years that Waj and I have been doing this work together, that this is how it all starts. People looked away because, again, it wasn't your group. You felt that you had the protection, the complexion for the protection. You felt like, well, I'm not an activist. Ooh, politics doesn't concern me. This isn't about me. This is about the immigrant or the trans or the gay or the blacks or the Latinos or the Muslims. I'm not any of those. This is about all of us. Our intertwined liberation. This is about all of us because none of us can be free until all of us are free. This is what the fuck this is about. And like I say again, why independent journalists? Why Black people? Because this is a shot across the bow to tell the rest of us to stand down. While Donald Trump told white nationalists to stand back and stand by, he is telling us with microphones, with platforms and voices to stand down, or you will be next.
That's right.
Because what is going to escalate, right, is that now our language, it won't matter if we're at a church, it won't matter if we're covering a protest, it will matter what we say, and that they're going to say that our language is inciting violence, that how dare us even bring attention to what this fascist regime is doing, because they're going to say, and they're going to name us in the same way that they are doing Renee Nicole Good, that they are doing Alex Preddy. Because in their minds, they are the law, and the law is dictated by what it is Donald Trump wants. And what he has always wanted is suffering for Black and brown people. What he has always wanted is smart Black women to shut the fuck up and go away. That's why 300,000 plus have lost their jobs, because the federal government and corporate DEI were their biggest employers, and now they're gone. It is about the devastation, right? The invisibilizing and the criminalizing of folks. People need to wake up. Wake up.
I don't know if they will, Danielle. This is five alarm fire. It's been that way for a while. And we still have folks who think they can negotiate their way out of this, coddle their way out of this, compromise their way out of this. You can't. You can't compromise your way out of fascism. You have to crush fascism. You can't coddle fascism. You have to crush fascism. They are unleashing the National Guard, the military, and ICE agents on our streets. We normalized it. It was only inevitable when these masked, armed, untrained ICE agents recruited from the dregs of society would put their arms and their bullets in and around and at white people. It happened. Even after the murder of Renee Nicole Good, we still haven't heard abolish ICE. Even after the murder of Alex Preddy, you had 7 Democrats join these Republicans in funding DHS. Even now, as we speak, we'll talk about it in a second, DHS is funded for 2 more weeks in a stopgap measure. In those 2 weeks, I said it yesterday, within a period of 2 weeks, you know what happened? Renee Nicole Good was murdered. Alex Preddy was murdered. Liam Ramos, the 5-year-old boy, was used as bait. Today, they went to a school, got 2 more kids. A lot of damage can happen in 2 weeks. You know what can happen in 1 day? 4 Black journalists, including Don Lemon, can get arrested and bragged about the arrest, because I'm going to use the word scalp.
It's a trophy. Yeah, this is a trophy. This is a trophy kill for them.
This is a scalp. Look at it, MAGA. I know we're losing. I got 4 black scalps for you.
It don't put no food on your table. Don't put no medicine in your medicine cabinet. Don't put no gas in your car. But this is what I got.
And that's how it's always been, right? What did Lyndon B. Johnson say? What's that famous quote?
Yeah, I have it right here. I'll tell you what's at the bottom of it. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you. This is the entirety. This is the ideology of MAGA. It is not new. It is as old as fucking time. This has always been the way. Don't let the working class whites link up with the working class blacks, because my God, then you all realize that who your real enemy is not each other. It isn't the fucking immigrant. It is the billionaire that's sitting in the CEO office. It is the shareholder that's sitting and trading on your backs. And now, what did we see this week? 16,000 jobs gone from Amazon. That was on top of the 16,000 that they got rid of at the end of last year. That's on top of all of the jobs that Microsoft, Google, Meta, UPS, and others have gotten rid of. Why? Because they're not replacing you with immigrants. They're replacing you with AI. And then they're putting those data centers in your communities to suck up the water and drive up your electricity bills that you can't pay. Guess why? Because you don't have a fucking job anymore. Like, folks, all of these actions are connected. They dropped several million Epstein files today. because they know that no one's paying attention. Why is nobody paying attention? Because they got black scalps today. Folks, like, if you think that they are making accidents, they are not. The firing of Greg Bovino, we told you, was playing musical chairs with the fucking devil, because it doesn't matter who's in charge of DHS. It doesn't matter who's in charge, right, of these places, because at the end of the day, they're all the same. It's the regime as a whole, not an individual. So don't think that you got to win because Greg Bovino is getting ready to retire his Nazi uniform and sit at Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, do you have, I mean, I don't want to skip forward, but it's to your point. I believe we should have that image of Donald Trump literally yesterday when he was asked by reporters, "Are you going to back down in Minneapolis?" And he said, "No, no, I won't."
I don't have it, but he said no.
He said it was
no.
yesterday, folks. After the
yeah,
victorious, man, I lost so many subscribers, Danielle. I lost viewers and subscribers on Blue Sky because all these blue anon folks were like, "How dare you criticize Schumer and Democrats and the centrists?" And it's the same old. It reminds me of and the white moderates that MLK talked about. And by white moderates, I'm not talking about all white folks. And these white moderates, I'm putting in quotation marks, include many people of color. Don't complain. Go piecemeal. We're accused of rage baiting now, Danielle, on Blue Sky, if you've noticed.
Yep.
And I said, how's this a victory? We'll talk about it in a second. This huge victory yesterday. You have no specifics. You still don't have abolish ICE. There's no mention of the $75 billion that ICE already has, 7 times its budget, no scaling back. I still don't know the names of the people that killed Alex Preddy. Really no enforcement mechanisms, Danielle. Tell me if I'm wrong. And 2 weeks, we got a stopgap measure for 2 weeks. And what I said, and I'll say it again, a lot of damage can happen in 2 weeks.
A lot of damage can happen in a day.
And kill a lot of people in 2 weeks. So talk to the people in Minnesota. We have a stopgap measure. We'll come back to this in 2 weeks, but at least the government isn't shut down.
All they do is kick the can down the road. That's all Congress does. That's all they do. And again, folks, like, this is, and I need to say this. This is not just about Don Lemon. This is not just about Georgia Fort. This is not just about Traheen Crews. This is not just about Mr. Lyons. This is about all of us. Because I want to show you, I want to play for you exactly what it was that Don Lemon was doing, right? So that you can understand that when Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, gets on social media and says that they were a part of a coordinated attack. We live inside of a country right now where the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers had coordination at the direction of the president to storm the Capitol building, to go find and kill the vice president of the United States, to go and kill members of Congress. And they were pardoned, and they are now a part of ICE receiving $50,000 signing bonuses. We live in a country where that was considered a tourist excursion. And what Don Lemon is seen doing here in a Minnesota church is a coordinated attack. Watch this.
What do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a Christian?
No one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to chronicle what happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. Yeah. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That is what Don Lemon was doing. Did that look like some coordinated insurrectionist? Did Don Lemon bring a guillotine? Did you see a guillotine being put up, Wash?
Did he bring a gun? Did he have a legal permit? And
did you see him using a flag as a weapon to beat the parishioners?
Pepper spray, bear spray, poles, American flags. That's what happened. Ropes.
Did you see them breaking into the church, like climbing through the windows?
Smearing shit?
I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that. But they're trying to tell us, they're trying to make the case that Don Lemon, Georgia Fort, Traheen Crews, and Jamael Lyons, that they are the insurrectionists. So I want to show you guys, because again, this is heavy today. It is heavy for me. It is heavy for Waj. It is heavy for everyone that has a microphone and a platform today. And I want to play for you that Georgia Fort live streamed right before she was taken into federal custody, because she wanted folks to see what was happening. And I'm going to play this if you have not seen it yet. And I tell you folks, if you are watching this right now, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, to Waj's channel. If you're watching on Substack, subscribe to the Left Hook, subscribe to the Damn Digest. Share as you're watching, comment, support, because that's what it means to spread this news, to use your own platforms and voices to support independent media. Take a listen to Georgia Fort.
You guys, I wanted to alert the public that agents are at my door right now. They're saying that they were able to go before a grand jury sometime, I guess, in the last 24 hours, and that they have a warrant for my arrest. I've talked to my attorney, and I'm being advised to go with them, I guess, down to Whipple. And my children are here. They're impacted by this. This is all stemming from the fact that I filmed a protest as a member of the media. We are supposed to have our constitutional right of the freedom to film, to be a member of the press. I don't feel like I have my First Amendment right as a member of the press. Because now federal agents are at my door arresting me for filming the church protest a few weeks ago. Again, I don't have a long time here, you guys, but I wanted you to know, for me, agents are at my door right now. My attorney has spoken with them. I did send a relative outside to talk to them. They're showing some type of documentation, apparently, that they got an indictment from a grand jury. I knew that I was on a defendant's list. I did not publish it because it was under seal. And so we've done everything that we can to try and abide by, the advice of our attorneys. But right now, you guys, I wanted you to know I'm going to have to hop off here and surrender to agents as a member of the press. I filmed the church protest a few weeks ago, and now I'm being arrested for that. It's hard to understand how we have a constitution, constitutional rights, when you can just be arrested for being a member of the press. We've seen all these violations. All right, you guys, I gotta go. They're knocking.
Yep, she's coming right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, guys.
You want to?
I mean, first and foremost, Grace under pressure. Look at how she behaves. Look at how Ilhan Omar behaved when Ilhan Omar a couple of days ago was attacked. Compare that to the cowards of the Trump administration, the whining, the incessant meltdowns of the world's weakest men with the weakest cankles, the weakest chins, weakest knees. And that includes the white women, the Caroline Levitts, the Christy Gnomes, the Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and others. And compare it to people who've been through things. Oh, black people, brown people. Black Lives Matter organizer Traheen Crews also arrested. 4 independent journalists, all black, arrested today. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, gloats about it. We should remind you all that several judges have thrown out the cases because they said there's no case. It went to an appellate's court. They said, no, we're not going to indict Don Lemon because he did nothing wrong. because they just followed these people and were, as you can clearly see, thank you, Danielle, for bringing the video, filming it. What's happening in Minneapolis? Filming ICE, Danielle, according to the DHS, perfectly legal. According to the DHS, you can film them, you can stand by them, just don't impede. You can talk to them. You can even use colorful language. None of that is illegal. However, Danielle, as you know, as a student of American history, in America, if certain people and certain genders got too uppity, got too lippy, what did law enforcement and what did the white population do to them, Danielle?
Lynch them.
Lynch them in broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Kill them in broad daylight and then
Mm-hmm.
blamed them for their own lynching.
Mm-hmm.
They had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
They deserved it.
Yep.
Emmett Till whistled at a white woman, and that was enough for a 14-year-old to be abducted, tortured, mutilated, and killed. The lady lied about it, the white lady.
Yep.
A white jury
Lived happily into her 80s, by the way. She only died a few years ago. I just want to say that, because black and white imagery has this conjures this idea that Emmett Till's murder and torture was so long ago.
Oh,
It
no, no,
wasn't.
no.
It was 1955.
Yeah, she
That
lived to like
woman
88.
died. That woman died at like 87, 88 a couple of years ago during COVID.
And also, the white jury acquitted those men. The men later said, yeah, we killed them. Now, why are you talking about this, Swaj? What does that mean? I want you to look at the ICE agents, masked, armed, operating with complete impunity, looking at your face, pointing guns at the faces of black folks, brown folks, and even white pastors. Because, as we've said on the show before, what the racists and the slave patrols and the KKK and the white South hated more than even black people were white race traitors. How dare you be a traitor to your own race? We have to make an example out of you. Your blood is worth it. Look how they talk about Renee Nicole Good. Look how they talk about Alex Preddy. People forget Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 white people. Look how they talk about those 2 white people, okay? Look how they talk about the white cops who were beat up by insurrectionists. They're not cops, crisis actors. Fascists come for everyone. This is part and parcel of America's legacy. They always need black scalps and black bodies. Women who get too lippy, black people who get too lippy, people of color who get too lippy, they're violently put in their place. And after the week of failures, the poll numbers, the economy, the lack of the Epstein files, negative double digits on immigration, now 46% of Americans are against ICE. They needed a win. And Danielle, what was their win? In what form did their win come from? Oh, I don't know. No more tariffs, lower gas prices, lower prices for food. Their win came in the form of cruelty and violence and racism against black bodies. And they knew if they gave this chum to their base, it would nurture their empty stomachs because they can't afford milk and eggs.
I mean, I just want to go back to what you said to Waj at the top, which was that the point of the lies that were spread during the campaign, Haitians eating dogs and cats, right, in Ohio. You had the conjuring up of the Somali, right, terrorists in Minnesota. All of this has been about getting black and brown people into the streets. All of this has been about trying to incite a war. When you look at what is happening in Minnesota and you look at who is getting tear gassed, who is getting beaten, who is getting killed, it's not the imagery that they wanted for their base. That's why I have said over and over again that white folks need to keep going out into the streets because people are paying attention. And now some people know Keith Porter's name only because a white woman was killed. Keith Porter, a black man, also a father, 43 years old, was murdered on New Year's Eve, but nobody knew his name because we've been conditioned to and desensitized to the murders of black people by police. Oh, they must have done something. He must not have complied. He must not have known his place. And it isn't until you begin to see white skulls, as Waj says, bashed in, that all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. I thought the police was about protecting me, not harming me. And ask yourselves now why you're more shocked than you have been about the number, folks, just the sheer number and volume of black people that have been murdered just in the 21st century. Those are just the ones you know about. Do you know how many mass graves? Do you know how many lynchings there have been in this country for hundreds of years? Do you understand that the only reason why, and it's okay, I say sit in that, sit in the shame of that, sit in the grief of that, sit in the knowing of that the only reason why so many people are outraged right now, and I say so many people, and I mean white people are outraged right now, is because finally they are knocking at your door and pulling you out. This is what it has meant to stand in solidarity with black people from the beginning, when we told you that we were not just fighting for black liberation, we were fighting for liberation, period. And so, folks, it is here, right? It is here. They came for the educational institutions. They came for the professors. They came for the students that wrote the op-eds. They came for those that activated on college campuses. They ruined their careers. They took away their diplomas. They took away their voices. Now they're coming for all microphones. They're coming for all camera phones. So, folks, like, people say, what can I do? Film. What can you do? Activate around your neighbors. What can you do? Support independent media. What can you do? Get out into the streets. What can you do? Like, support your pantry. There are so many things to do. Stop asking what should you do, because that is fucking lazy at this point. Go ahead, Waj, you're on mute.
This is the breaking news that came out in the last 30 minutes. The Justice Department says it has opened a civil rights investigation into Alex Preddy's shooting. The Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, who was also Donald Trump's personal attorney, who, by the way, also went and talked to Ghislaine Maxwell for 2 days, and a week later, she all of a sudden got sent to Club Fed. So good luck if you have faith in him. He signaled an apparent shift from its handling so far of shootings involving agents. This is Washington.
Breathe.
They're playing all of you. They played corporate media. They just played Chuck Schumer. I know I lost a lot of supporters, and
fuck Chuck Schumer.
This is what they're gonna do. We got it. We open up an investigation. 2 weeks from now, we're still investigating. 4 weeks from now, it's very complex. 6 weeks from now, what investigation? 8 weeks from now, Alex Preddy, the domestic terrorist, why do you want us to investigate his death? Epstein files, don't worry. Inshallah, we'll release it. We're on it. We just released 2 million files today. Well, what about the rest of the files? Inshallah. 2 weeks, Danielle, is a lifetime. We live in the United States of amnesia. They're going to punt this. They're going to delay this. There will be no accountability. This is a lawless regime. This is the same regime that just 5 days ago, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, people have already forgotten, tried to extort Governor Walz. All right. You don't want ICE terrorizing your streets? Fine. What did she say, Danielle? Give us your voter rolls.
Yep.
And we're seeing that voter rolls. Yeah, give us your voter rolls and then promise you won't be a sanctuary city. Then we'll take ICE out. I thought this was about immigration enforcement. Sure, it is. Give us your voter rolls. Yesterday, what did they do? Took the original ballots from the 2020 election from Fulton County.
You know what? I'm gonna play it again. I played it yesterday. This is the attorney over one of the attorneys over at the Fulton County Elections Office. And I want to play for you the audio of her watch so that we can talk about it on
Yeah, please.
the other side, because I think that it is really important for folks to understand that this is not what they are doing in Georgia, in Fulton County, has nothing to do with 2020. It is everything about 2026 and every election moving forward. So take a listen.
Hi, everybody. Listen, I know you're watching the news. You're seeing a lot of stuff about this FBI raid at the Fulton County elections and registrations. I'm on the inside right now. So I just want you to be like real discerning about all that you're hearing from people who are on the outside of what's going on. I'm going to give you the truth about what's happening. So they served a warrant, the FBI, this is Trump, serving a warrant to go pick up the 2020 ballots, which are in a secure location inside of here, 700 boxes. The first warrant that they gave was incorrect legally, like they didn't follow the right procedure. They went back and they fixed it, and they came back, and now they are actually collecting the boxes. They are in the chain of command in Fulton County is that once they are archived, they become the possession of the clerk of Superior Court, which is Shay Alexander. She is here and she is with them inventorying everything that they're taking. We, the commissioners, the chairman, the county attorney, are trying to figure out a legal plan as to maybe an injunction, a motion to quash. We don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out. We're getting all kinds of legal advice to stop this, because once they have the ballots, how do we then turn around and do something different when they've already got their hands on it? So this is an attempt to take your vote away. This is all about November 2026, about the primary on May 19th and then the November election. He does not want the midterm elections to take away his power. So he's trying to create chaos. So this is what he does. Chaos in Minnesota, chaos in Fulton County. We are a target. Protect your vote at all costs. I'm telling you, everybody always says your life depends on it. Oh, your life does depend on it this time.
Waj.
Oh, look, another black woman on the forefront warning us. Another black woman telling us, hey, if they could do it to us, they'll do it to you. Another black woman saying, hey, Fulton County is a battleground. That's the same county, remember? Find me 11,000 votes, and then you'll be fine. And that was Brad Raffensperger, the Republican Secretary of State of Georgia, who recorded that audio call. Remember that? He tried to interfere. He was pissed off. He couldn't get away with it. A black woman, Fani Willis, tried to try him. What did they do? Got rid of that case, got rid of the case of the insurrection, got rid of the case of him stealing documents and storing it in the shitter in Mar-a-Lago. God knows who he gave those secret documents to, Danielle, or if he sold those secret documents to.
What do you mean if? What do you mean if? Motherfucker has already made $1.7 billion in his first year of the presidency, according to the New York Times. Well, according to the New York Times, specifically him, the family has made $5 billion. Specifically, Donald Trump has already pulled in $1.7 billion. But by the way, who is he opening up an investigation into in terms of like fraud? Ilhan Omar.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wants to know how this black immigrant, Muslim, hijab-wearing woman came to the United States with nothing and now has millions. He wants to understand that, because the only person that should be sitting high on piles of fucking money are white men.
And also last night, well, actually today, for those who some other breaking news, but this is now news item 47. Trump sues the IRS and Treasury
for $10 billion. $10 billion of our tax dollars. Why is he suing the IRS, Waj?
President Trump and his family is suing the IRS and Treasury Department for $10 billion as he accuses the federal agencies of a failure to prevent a leak of the president's tax information to news outlets between 2018 and 2020, because he was the only president to never release his tax information. And now he says, I need $10 billion. Lindsey Graham wants $1 million. They're really pissed off that their records, were subpoenaed, right? It's a grift. It's a grift, and it's always been a grift. and capitalism depends on white supremacy. And going back to that Lyndon B. Johnson quote, that his base doesn't care. As long as they're giving them black and brown scalps, they won't care that AI is going to take their jobs. They won't care that the crypto bro are making so much money. They won't care that they've sunk the dollar. They won't care that they've blown up NATO. They won't care that tourism to America has declined. They don't care that the best and brightest immigrants are fleeing America and going to China and Europe. They don't care that the birth rate has gone down. They don't care that the price of eggs and everything has gone up because tariffs, 95% of them are paid by who? Them, us Americans. They don't care. Just give me a black and brown scalp and I'll eat that for the rest of my miserable life. And that's
Okay.
American white supremacy.
So let us dig into why you and I are saying, well, I said fuck Chuck Schumer. You are much more couth than me. Why we're talking about all of how this is tied in today. I will read this and then Waj, you can tell people once again why you lost so many followers yesterday.
Oh boy.
So, Senate Democrats, this was last night, have struck a deal with Republicans and the White House to pass 5 spending bills to fund a large portion of the government for the remainder of the fiscal year, as well as a stopgap measure to fund the Department of Homeland Security for 2 weeks while they continue negotiating guardrails to rein in immigration agents. Republicans had pushed to fund the department for several weeks, but Democrats insisted on a shorter term measure. It is unclear how quickly the House can and will process those funding bills after the Senate passes them. The shutdown deadline is midnight today. Or is it midnight on Friday today or midnight next Friday? I'm unclear about that. But I want, again, and then I'll want Waj to weigh in here. Mike Nellis's hot take. Separating DHS funding from the border package is a win for Senate Democrats. It means the next 2 weeks of appropriations debate will focus solely on ICE. Republicans can't hold the rest of the government hostage to boost funding for these agents. These next 2 weeks, keep speaking out. Waj, your thoughts. And then I'll show people what Democrats are weekly asking for.
So I've had Mike on my show. Mike and I had a robust, spirited back and forth because Mike has a activist hat. And as he openly says, he is a Democratic strategist. So we decided to give you Mike's hot take because that's what a lot of vote blue, no matter who, don't ever criticize the Democrats. And I would say some blue and on folks say. Fair. My take, which went viral. I read it. And very quickly, I said, Schumer caved. And oh, Danielle, I have lost subscribers and viewers, and Blue Sky hates me, and people are now accusing you and me. This is a new thing and it's a lot of the establishment. Sorry to say, white Democrats, rage baiters, click baiters. They can't. This is how they get their money. I'm like, do you know who we are? What? Because how dare I not have faith in the great leader known as Chuck Schumer, who has fought for us tooth and nail and sacrificed his body. I mean, Danielle, I am a fool. I am such a fool that I remember Chuck Schumer still hasn't embraced Mamdani. That Chuck Schumer and the Democratic establishment threw everything and the kitchen sink and a Bill Clinton and a James Clyburn against Mamdani in favor of Chris Cuomo.
Not Chris, sorry. Andrew.
I talked about Fredo. I'm talking about Andrew. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm old enough to remember several months ago during that first shutdown threat, as the House Democrats and even many of the Senate Democrats said, hold the line, hold the line. And Chuck Schumer said, we're going to hold the line. He decided to betray them and then got a whole bunch of 9 Democratic senators to then say, well, no, we can't shut down. Remember
8
that?
of them. Mm-hmm.
People forget.
Yeah.
And I'm old enough to remember, Danielle.
Come on.
November.
Bring the
many years ago. November, 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
That here we were fighting to extend the Obamacare subsidies. You had Democrats, you had the Democratic base, you had the House, you had the Senate, but someone who's the leader couldn't whip up the votes or chose not to whip up the votes. And at the last second, the centrists did what? Come on now. Even though we won't tell you we're all paid by the airline lobby and it's the busiest season's about to come down in November and December, we have to be responsible. Caved. And then I remembered, last week, 7 House Democrats, the number that was needed for the House to fund the DHS bill after the murder of Renee Nicole Good. I want you all to pay attention. Renee Nicole Good is dead. White woman has been killed. Who cares about us? Who cares about the black and brown people? No one cares. And the Palestinians, no one cares. A white woman had been killed. 7 Democrats decided to give the vote to the House to fund DHS and ICE. Hakeem Jeffries, Schumer Light, Timo Schumer, we should probably call him, said, according to the sources that we got, I won't vote for DHS. Hakeem Jeffries, will you whip the votes? No.
Oh, and just a quick aside, quick little aside. Folks came for me on social media when I said he couldn't even be bothered to whip the votes. And they wanted to say to me, Danielle, he's not the whip. No, you're absolutely right, you dum-dum. He isn't the whip. He's the fucking minority leader. I can remember, I'm not too old to remember that Nancy Pelosi also wasn't the whip. But you know what she knew? How to keep her fucking caucus in line, because that's what she wanted. So Hakeem Jeffries allowing for 7 Democrats to go ahead and vote alongside Republicans who, by the way, are trying to kill you, right? Him deciding, I just couldn't hold it together, is his little backdoor slithering spineless way out of, I'm not going to put people on the record, right? They can vote their own conscience. Oh, and by the way, Waj, he also told members not to go to Minnesota because it was too dangerous.
And if I'm almost done, I promise. I was with Mike Madrid live when news came out yesterday afternoon that Schumer held the line. I congratulated him. I said, we're shocked. 55-45. It initially fails. Maybe he'll hold the line and get something out of it. As this was happening yesterday, and the polls came out, and 46% to 43% of Americans said abolish ICE. Danielle, look at that. In 2 weeks.
Yep.
All the polls, even on Fox, a Fox poll said nearly 60% ICE is too aggressive. With the wind behind your back, this is what Chuck Schumer, his position of strength. We're not going to say abolish ICE. We want the end of roving patrols, but I guess the patrols are fine.
Oh, here.
Ensure ICE. Okay, no. This is actually these are the progressives and the New Democratic Coalition. This is
is the New Democratic Coalition. Okay,
this is much better. These are the Justice.
Okay, well, you go through what Schumer said, and then we'll
right. No abolish ICE. Nothing about the $75 billion that have already been given to ICE last year, 7 times its annual budget. Nothing about clawing it back, which is what Republicans did. Remember, they clawed back all the money that was given to the IRS. Nothing about that. No real specifics about accountability. Okay, let's be honest. Nothing about ending mass deportations. Just a bunch of inshallah. Okay. We get this breaking news. Government's not going to be shut down. Wonderful. We've separated DHS funding from the other spending bills. Wonderful. We've done a 2-week stopgap measure to fund DHS. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to come back and the Republicans better give us what we want, which is, I still don't have all the specifics. But then what I said is, 2 weeks is a long time in America. People will forget Renee Nicole Good's name in 2 weeks. You know what happened 2 weeks ago? Donald Trump threatened NATO to take over Greenland. You've already forgotten. You know what happened a couple of weeks ago, Danielle?
I was going to say invaded Venezuela at the beginning of the year. That was 30 days ago, folks.
And again,
and bombed Nigeria. threatened
Bomb Nigeria,
Iran.
ISIS. We still, and the Nigerians are like, we've been here and there's been no ISIS. Forgotten. 2 weeks is such a long time for ICE to do so much damage. And I'll end with this. This is why I said he caved. I have no faith in him. But Danielle, I'll be fair. In 2 weeks, if Chuck Schumer goes to the Republicans and says, okay, I'm back, abolish ICE, claw back the $75 billion, unmask them, accountability. Give me the names of the 2 shooters that killed Preeti, Alex Preeti. If he pulls it off, you know what I'll say, Danielle? I was wrong. You were right. And further, because I don't care about my ego, I want to be wrong. I will be so happy to be wrong. I'll be drinking chai and said, I was wrong. Way to go, Schumer. But do you, Danielle, have faith in that Chuck Schumer to come back in 2 weeks and to listen to the base and say, abolish ICE, abolish DHS, no funding, unmask, impeach, accountability, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Danielle.
No, I don't have any faith, Waj, because I am a realist, because we always come with receipts on democracy-ish. And there is nothing in Chuck Schumer's past or his present that would have me believe that he is going to change into an entirely different human being in the future. So 2 weeks is about the can being kicked down the road and is about a distraction, right? Because in 2 weeks, I guarantee you, good friends, that there will be more death. In 2 weeks, there will be more arrests of journalists. In 2 weeks, more babies will have been taken into custody. In 2 weeks, Liam Ramos, the little 5-year-old boy, his health could deteriorate even further. In 2 weeks, more people in ICE detention will die. In 2 weeks, more people inside of ICE detention will be raped or sexually assaulted. In 2 weeks, right? While Chuck Schumer twiddles his thumbs and plays with his kente cloth, right? And cosplays as somebody that the American people used to trust, there will be more blood in the streets, all at the hands of Donald Trump's slave patrollers.
But listen, it's so, you remind me of something. Going back to MLK, going back to the civil rights movement. Now, brown and black cow, now's not the right time. Just wait. Just wait for a more, what did MLK say? Convenient season. That's what the white moderates told him. And then you heard folks, white folks even in Minnesota, you're telling us to resist 2 more weeks of ISIS this is the words they use, occupation, 2 more weeks of ISIS reign of terror. And then, folks, last night, as we said before, for the 2,300 people joining us, Donald Trump was asked, do you plan on scaling back operations in Minnesota? This is almost an exact quote that the reporter asked him. He said, no, not at all. So
And
you tell me.
go ahead.
No, what's the victory? And then furthermore, as this is happening during these 2 weeks, we brought receipts. We brought receipts of what ICE is doing, all right, during these 2 weeks. Danielle, tell them what ICE is already doing.
I mean, beside like roaming patrols, pulling people out of their homes, beating people, murdering them in the street, what is ICE also doing? This right here, building an 8,500 bed mega center. Does that sound like CCOT to you? Right? This is despite what people are protesting. This is what Chuck Schumer is giving them 2 weeks more to do. This is what our tax dollars are funding. Are there migrants and immigrants going to go in there, Waj? Who do you think is going in that $8,500 mega center, right? We're not even allowed into the little centers where they are served moldy food, crammed into cells with 50, 60 people, not allowed to shower, not given blankets, not given any food for days, 10 days at a time. Folks, like, these are your centers. This is your future. This stopped being, and I wish that mainstream corporate media would stop fucking referring to ICE what Donald Trump is doing as an immigration operation. It's not. It stopped being about immigrants as soon as he became president. It became about dissent. It became about retribution. That is what this is about. And these centers that they are building, they are for you.
That's right. That's key. Folks, what's common to us isn't common to everyone, but it bears reminding. This government is telling you they don't have money for healthcare, but Republicans decide to pass the greatest wealth transfer / theft in U.S. history with the big billionaire bill. Permanent tax cuts for the rich. Well, how are they going to pay for it? Great question. $1 trillion cuts to Medicaid. But guess what they found money for? Can you go back to that photo real quick?
Yes, I will go back.
175 billion for ICE to now create base. They said if ICE was a country, and if you look at the budget of ICE, and if you look at the armed forces of ICE, right? If it was a country, it would have the world's 17th largest army.
Mm-hmm.
So $175 billion infusion into ICE and the construction of detention centers and private prisons. As it is happening, folks.
Wash, I'm just quickly tell the people, what are the two stocks that went through the roof when Donald Trump was elected? What are the two industries that saw the biggest stock jumps when Donald Trump was inaugurated?
The night of his election, actually, even before the inauguration, the night of his election, the one industry stock that rose up, private prisons.
Where does Donald Trump and his cronies, where do they have their money stacked up?
They have their money stacked up in crypto, in AI, in the military industrial complex, private prisons.
Okay. So what is this right now? This is what? Pay for play.
Pay for
Right?
play.
Donald Trump is making money. He is taking our money by suing the IRS, by building private prisons, and giving our tax dollars as breaks to the folks that are building these prisons. Folks, this is a stick up. We are living through a motherfucking heist. When I say that this is a smash and grab job, this is what I am talking about. He is going to take your money and take your freedom one way or another.
One way or another, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, and get rich. That's it. But as long as you listen, there's a great single panel cartoon, which I've referenced many times. You can check it out right now, folks. If you can, go on Google. It's Rupert Murdoch sitting right there at the head of a table. He has a plate. The plate is stacked with cookies. The cookies are falling over. All right. To his left is a black worker. To his right is a white worker. They have plates. They have one cookie and some crumbs. And Rupert Murdoch turns to the white worker and says, "That guy's stealing your cookies." You could replace Murdoch with Thiel. You could replace Thiel with Musk. You replace Musk with Carnegie, Rockefeller. It's as old as time. It's American capitalism mixed in with racism. Look at Americans are starving. Americans don't have food to eat. Americans friggin' are dying. Life expectancy has gone down. Their children are dying of measles. And still the base, that 28 to 30% base of Trump. Yeah, I'll eat Don Lemon. I'll eat his misery.
So nutritious.
That'll sustain me. Yeah. Ilhan Omar. I'll eat that violence against her. Yeah, that 5-year-old boy, Liam Ramos, deport them all. That'll sustain me. Until it won't, they're gonna die. Which is why we've always said white supremacy is so self-destructive. But the really scary part, and I don't know if Danielle, you were able to put this up there.
Mm.
In the 2 weeks that ICE is still, and folks, he has not embraced abolish ICE. Can you tell? Did you get the surveillance stuff that I sent you? What ICE is doing right now?
Hold
what
on.
they're testing out in Minneapolis and Minnesota?
Wait. I may not have it. Hold
Wait, because
on.
I want people to know this. This is happening literally as we're speaking. What is ICE doing with mass surveillance? Wait for it. Washington Post came out with this.
Oh, wait, is it this? No.
Apple and Google, speaking about the complicity.
Okay.
Apple and Google have removed ICE tracking apps from their stores after DOJ pressure. TikTok has not reportedly, but it has suppressed videos criticizing ICE. Folks, that's happened. Who took over TikTok? Larry Ellison. The precursor to all of this was criticism against Israel and its genocide. That's why Larry Ellison and
Also,
all
who
the
owns
world are
CBS?
his nepo baby son, David Ellison.
Okay, just
Meta is now blocking list on ICE list. Across platforms, tech is restricting tools and speeds that document federal agents. All right, this is what as that is happening. Guess what movie came out today, funded to the tune of $40 million? Melania, the
Oh, I thought it
documentary.
was $75 million.
Maybe they hid the cost. Who released it and produced it? Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon. Wait for it. Who is helping ICE? Who is helping ICE? Military industrial complex and big tech. A piece came out yesterday. The powerful tools in ICE's arsenal to track suspects and protesters. Facial recognition,
Mm-hmm.
license plate readers,
Mm-hmm.
cell tower simulators,
Mm-hmm.
warrantless cell phone tracking, which is illegal,
Mm-hmm.
digital forensics,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the one I've been waiting for, drones.
And
Drones.
the glasses.
And so in the next 2 weeks, that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Danielle, I know people might not like science fiction. I was thinking about this. Suppose I says, you know what? We have to keep our people safe from you domestic terrorists. We're going to send in drones now to patrol neighborhoods. And if people are uppity, well, these drones have missiles. And in order to keep neighborhoods safe, we're going to use these drones against Antifa and domestic terrorists. Am I crazy?
No. And look what Michael Hernandez said in our
Absolutely.
chat. Just so, because again, folks, none of the things that Waj has listed out, none of them are happening in isolation. Where were they tested on? With our tax dollars, the billions of dollars that we've given to Israel. IDF technology, Israeli Defense Forces
Absolutely.
technology. What have they used in order to quell, suppress, and wipe out Palestinians? They have used technology that our tax dollars have funded. By the way, Wajahat, how many journalists? What has Israel done to the Palestinian journalists? What has Israel done to journalists in general over the last nearly 3 years of their genocide?
Shot them, killed them, and then covered it up and then said, don't believe your lying eyes. They've killed American journalists.
Hundreds.
Not just journalists, also UN workers, also doctors. There's no schools left. And speaking about the genocide in Gaza, the number, which is the lowball number of nearly 70,000 people that have been killed, that was used by Gaza Health Ministry, that Joe Biden and Democrats said, you can't trust that number. It's Hamas. Guess who came out yesterday and said, yeah, we accept that number? Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the lowball.
71,000.
Yeah, and that's the lowball number. And guess who came out and sat there at one of the second biggest Trump donors conference, Miriam Adelson. That's the second biggest Trump donor. The first one is Elon Musk. Guess who sat there at her conference last month and promoted the lie of TikTok radicalizing young people? Not the genocide, but TikTok. You know who accepted that invitation? Hillary Clinton. So this is why I will continue to lose a lot of blue sky people and Democrats. And oh boy, I lost money and subscribers. That's okay. I refuse to sit there and be a sycophant. I refuse to sit there and be some party hack. I refuse to sit there and say, well, Democrats were fine with the genocide, so I'll be fine with the genocide. And Danielle, let's be honest. The same people who are telling us now, brown cow, don't say abolish ICE, were the same people who told us a year and a half ago, now, brown cow, shut up about genocide. And what we try to do, Danielle, on this show, we're trying to help you, Democrats. Listen to your base. They have been radicalized in real time. They care about a genocide in Gaza. And if you can support a genocide abroad, that means you will make excuses for supporting fascism at home. And what happened, Danielle? The number one reason why Democrats stayed at home, according to YouGov, Gaza. And what did they tell us back then, Danielle? Shut up. Shut up, you agitator. What are they telling us right now as we're warning them about Chuck Schumer's weakness and complicity? Shut up. Why don't you praise Chuck Schumer? Stop saying abolish ICE. even though we're telling you, you are misreading the moment. People get radicalized in real time, folks. That's what happened with Palestine. 2 years, the world's radicalized. 2 weeks, America has been radicalized by the murder of Renee Nicole Good, Alex Preddy, Keith Porter, 6 other individuals who are never named because they're Latino, and now the arrest of Don Lemon. And those of us who speak out are the ones who are being seen as too liberal, too left, too agitators and rage baiters. Danielle, your response. If I'm
I
wrong, you
mean,
tell me I'm wrong.
no, here is the thing, folks. The rubber has met the road. All of the things that we said on this show that we wanted to be wrong about, right? We would be happy to be wrong because nobody is gloating, jumping up and down and saying, oh my God, I was right. Fascism is here. Yay. No, we're all terrified, right? Like, absolutely so. Because
And Danielle,
everything.
also, real quick, I'm so glad. Sorry, on Substack, a whole bunch of people are watching us. Randy just reminded me yesterday. Hassan Piker, the #1 guy on Twitch, banned him because of his critiques of Israel yesterday. So Twitch is also in it.
So,
Twitch,
folks,
Facebook, Amazon, all of them. Danielle.
and as Mark Thompson said today with you, and on Joy's stream, is that they're going to come for Substack too. They're going to come for YouTube. YouTube paid out Donald Trump, right? In the same way ABC did and CBS did. They're going to come for these independent outlets because guess what? Right? Mainstream corporate media has already bent the knee, right? So they already know what the deal is over there. But now all of these independent voices and platforms have sprouted up, and the message keeps getting out, and people have abandoned mainstream media. And so they've put their eyeballs in these places. Understand, these places are not safe. They are coming for all of them, and they're coming for all of us. These detention centers that are being built, they are not being built to house undocumented people. They're not being built to house criminals. Out of, I think it was someone said, out of the 75,000 people that Donald Trump has deported thus far, like 1% of them, less than 1%, were violent criminals. These are school teachers and janitors. These are factory workers and landscapers. These are babies. They deported a baby to Honduras. We have children, babies, toddlers in jail right now in this country. And they are doing it because they can. Everything feels like it can't be done until it is. And right now, they have put the pressure and all of us into a vice, and they are churning it. And it feels like we are drowning. It feels like we are being squeezed to death because that is what they are doing. There are more of us than there are of them.
That's right.
This is the time to be activated. This is the time to be in the streets. This is the time to shut down their economic engine. This is the time to be heard. Susan has put multiple things in the chat. 5calls.org, indivisible.org, calling your members, looking out, figuring out who are the independent voices that you can support. What messages can you share on your platforms? What do your local schools need? Go to an ICE organizing event. Figure out how you, when they come to your town, so that you're ready, because they are coming.
We're going to be the canaries in the coal mine. What always happens. Folks, I'm old enough to remember. I mean, war on terror. I'm Muslim. I'm brown. Those of us who spoke out, people forget we live in the United States of amnesia. Oh my God, this country hated us. We were called terrorists. Remember that? Terrorist sympathizers, sellouts, anti-American, especially if you're Muslim like me, Al-Qaeda, Hamas. We marched, even though it was very unpopular. We said the war on terror would be a disaster. It would make us all unsafe. The world will hate us. Democracy will not bloom. It will only increase extremist groups and its recruitment. ISIS was birthed in the aftermath of America's failed and reckless and stupid war in Iraq. 20 years later, Taliban's still back in power. America's reputation went down, thousands of US soldiers, millions of people killed, tortured. The creation of ICE, DHS, Patriot Act. We voluntarily gave up our civil liberties for the feeling of safety, just like so many Americans are perfectly fine with Donald Trump because they feel he'll make them great again. And what we warned, Danielle, was that the loaded weapon that America, and I know people don't like hearing this, that the American right and the American left, Democrats, I'm not even going to call Democrats the American left, the Democrats and Republicans funded to the teeth ICE and DHS, which was perfectly fine to go after terrorists, right? Perfectly fine going after the Arabs, Palestinians, Muslims, Black people, Latinos. We said, folks, you're giving a loaded weapon. You're leaving a loaded weapon on the table, a big effing gun that one day in the wrong hands can and will be used to bring the war on terror against Americans at home. We were mocked, ridiculed, defamed, boycotted. Same thing is happening now. Same thing happened with me when I spoke out publicly about what Israel was doing, and I warned, lost a lot. Donald Trump was elected, Danielle. I don't know if you know this. I have not had a speaking engagement from my speaking agency that I'm still with, that I used to just crush it with, in over a year.
Mm-hmm.
What they said to me, watch, they're really good. I'm not blaming them. The same universities and corporations that used to invite you, they now don't even look at the topic, meaning Danielle could be a brilliant expert on, say, AI. They'll just see that she's a Black woman and they'll assume she's DEI and might bring in gender or race, and they're so scared that they voluntarily censored themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And now what we're saying is we're warning the Democrats about the Democratic establishment, because we know Ken Martin has not released the audit that he promised to release, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
They are not fighting. They did not embrace Mamdani. They have not embraced taxing the billionaires. They are still fine taking money from AIPAC. They still haven't said abolish ICE. And as a result of my, I think, very rational critiques, fair critiques, because I want them to be better, I have lost a lot yesterday, like a lot of subscribers. But all is well. I believe as a Muslim, my sustenance comes from God. I'm not afraid. That's me. I'm a Muslim. Whatever's meant to come to me, for coming to me. If you are here for me, I'm only speaking for myself now,
Mm-hmm.
and you expect me to be a sycophant for any politician or political party, to not tell you the truth, to sugarcoat it, I'm not your guy. I'm not blue and on. I'm not vote blue no matter who.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I worship Mamdani, AOC, centrist, whatever. If they do well, I praise them. If they don't, I push them. I don't trust them because I'm 45 years old. I've been in this game for a long time. I believe the strength will come from the people. And I believe if we organize and raise hell, that is when these institutions that are corrupt will bend the knee. I believe we must cull them. I believe we must reform them, because if we don't push them, they will go for restoration and a Merrick Garland. And you saw how that worked out. Only speaking for myself, Danielle.
You can speak for me any day of the week. And we'll close out today with this, which is one of my favorite quotes from Zora Neale Hurston. If you are silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say you enjoyed it.
Wow. That's a great quote.
Okay? If you are silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say that you enjoyed it. Folks, this has been an extraordinary day. It is going to be a day in history that you remember the day that you sat and you saw the government of the United States come for the Constitution of the United States. It's going to be a day when you say, and your children or grandchildren ask you, what did you do? What did you do as they were beginning to storm Minnesota and LA and New York? What did you do when they were taking children away and putting them in camps? What did you do when they came for journalists and they jailed them and they said that they needed to be executed? What did you do when Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed dead. What did you do as the fascists were marching down your street? This is the time when you need to be able to say unequivocally what it is that you did, how it is that you fought back, what it is that you believe in. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what orientation you are. It doesn't matter your identity, your religion, your ethnicity, your ability.
Doesn't matter.
None of that matters. We are human beings and we were born free and we have a right to live free. So this is your moment. This is your time. Because to sit by and to sit back and to be quiet is to be complicit. To sit around and wait for other people to give you direction on what to do is to be complicit and lazy. Now is your time. It is your moment to decide what kind of country you want to be and what kind of citizen you are. Folks, Awaj, please tell people where you are for the rest of the day. I don't know if you are doing 17,000 shows or what it is that you're up to.
Oh, it's really sad news I just read right now. Oh, it's really sad news.
What?
Catherine O'Hara, Home Alone mom, died at age 71 from Schitt's Creek.
No.
Yeah, just oof.
Oh,
Read it. I
man.
was literally gonna respond to you, but I just saw this. Catherine
that's
O'Hara, she's
terrible.
71.
She's such a fucking good actress.
You know, folks, can I say something? Because you get to a certain age, our
man.
age, my age, death and birth come at waves. And then
Yeah.
there's certain deaths, right? I don't know Catherine O'Hara, but she's like a comedy legend in Canada. Everyone loves her. Home Alone, Schitt's Creek. Certain people pass. And I remember as soon as I saw it, I'm like, Home Alone, Kevin McAllister's mom. Obviously, she's Catherine O'Hara. She's a woman. But, pop culture has that ability, right? Because you remember your life, right, Danielle, where you were in that time. And I remember I was 10 and we saw Home Alone. And so to me, Catherine O'Hara will always be, Macaulay Culkin's mom.
I know,
And-
but to me, she's also Beetlejuice.
And she's also Beetlejuice. And she's also, for many people, Schitt's Creek, right?
And
And I
Schitt's
sat
Creek.
there, I'm like, how could she die? She's so young. Oh, she's 71.
No,
Like,
people
oh,
are
yeah.
saying in the chat that apparently, I don't know if they said it, but that she had cancer.
Oh, it's so sad.
That's what some people are saying. 71
Uh,
is not old.
The cause of
And
death
the
is
older I
unclear.
get, the more I'm like 70s is not old, by the way.
I'm not saying old and as
No, I
disrespectful.
know, but I'm just like people are like, oh, you lived a long life, and I'm like,
So I mean, sorry, you asked me a question. I just saw that.
yeah.
And I was like,
Where are you for the rest of the day?
okay. I'm probably gonna be 2 o'clock. Someone just messaged me, and they said democracy
So
forward.
he don't even know where he's gonna be. He's like, I got a text, and you're gonna read the text to us.
Yeah, a democracy forward president and CEO Sky Perryman wants to break down what happened with Don and how that's so
I love
dangerous.
Sky. Tell her that Danielle Moodie said hi.
So,
I
so
think
I was
that
gonna be
she's
like, I
great.
should ask Danielle, but all right. So I just said yes.
Well, yeah, I can do it. I can do it at 2:30 because I'm on with Dean Obadala in 7 minutes.
Yeah. So she's like, you want to come on at 2? I'm like, sure. So 2 o'clock, I'm thinking I'll be on with Lev or maybe Allison. I'm really tired. I wanted to take today off, but there's no days off. Danielle, where are you gonna be?
I am going on with Dean Obadala in 7 minutes
Okay.
on Substack. So that's where I'm going to be. I may go live again later today because I'm just like beside myself. People know that usually I protect my Fridays and my weekends, but I am feeling it today. So you may see Waj and I again later.
And also, so if I may, real quick, Epstein files allege Donald Trump forced a 13, 14-year-old girl to do things and then hit her for biting him. There's they released a whole bunch of stuff, and I think they realized some stuff is in there. There's a really disgusting one. And first, we also don't know about Katie Johnson, and we
Can you
also
send me the links? Because
and also, for those who've been watching The Left Hook, Michael Cohen has a lot to answer about his 2019 when his attorneys sent SDNY that Rule 35 consideration that, hey, Michael Cohen knows some things about Donald Trump and Epstein. What does he know, Danielle? So the Epstein, look, a lot of balls. ICE, the grift, going after the First Amendment, Epstein files. We'll focus on all of it, folks. But Danielle, shamelessly promote yourself in the 1
Yeah,
minute.
folks. And I just, as I promote myself, I want to shout out Susan, who gave so much money today and gives so much to this channel every single day. Thank you so much, Kathy. Yek, she gifted memberships. Key W, Jimmy, Real Talk became a member of the channel. T Gal, Real Talk again. Claire gave $50. Appreciate you. Margaret, Mimi, Ghostface Killer gifts memberships and became a member for 3 months. Appreciate you. Navy, Mar, Jackie, Lucy, Real Talk, and Susan again. And if I missed you, this is independent media, as we always say. Every single dollar helps. We are people powered, which means that we are powered by you. That means that when they come for us, there is no network that is putting out lawyers for us. It is you all. So we appreciate you for showing up, because there are so many other places that you can be, and you choose to be with Democracy-ish on Mondays and Fridays here at 12 p.m. Eastern, and on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on Substack. You choose to be with me with the Danielle Moodie Show Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So folks, make sure that you are a subscriber of this channel, of Waja's YouTube channel. If you can become a paid subscriber of The Left Hook, his Substack, which is brilliant, with all of the guests that he interviews every day, become a paid subscriber. If you can become a paid subscriber of my Substack, The Damn Digest, please do consider doing so. But other than that, friends, make sure that you are a free subscriber. Make sure that you are liking and commenting and sharing. Make sure you are pushing this out. Be activated. Have your voices heard. Call your members. Get into the streets. Get ICE training. Like, understand how you can be activated. Don't wait for people to direct you. Direct yourself. Okay? And I know that it's dark right now and you're looking for the light. If you can't find it, be it. That is the purpose in this moment. We all have a job to do, so do it.
Amen, folks. Take care of yourself. I got the kiddos to myself. My wife's on a trip, so there's probably gonna be 6, 7 kids, but I'll find a way. We'll make it work. And most likely Danielle and I will be back on later.
We'll be back later. Give the kids some like Cheetos and a drink box.
Yeah, I'll be like, you can watch
cartoons.
6 hours of TV today. And my wife's gonna call and like, did they just watch 6 hours of TV? I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you
Huh?
mean?
They were reading. But we did do spelling last night. We'll do spelling.
They
again
were
today.
reading captions of their shows.
I made them read. So I'll be responsible. But yeah, there's just so much happening, folks. But listen, fascists, you have to. Last thing I know, you got to go full court press. Fascists come for everyone. Full court press. And I want to leave you with this: there's more of us than there are of them. There's more of us than there are of them. And the arrest of Don Lemon, the unleashing of ICE, the cover-ups. All of this is a weak administration that's on the back foot. These are all actions of weakness. Keep pressuring. And the last thing I'll say is pressure your institutions and your Democrats. Elected officials aren't your friends, all right? They're not your buddies. You have to pressure them to do the right thing. And we have primary season. Pressure them. You have an unprecedented moment right now. They believe in 2 weeks we'll forget. Don't make them forget. And come 2 weeks, when they revisit this stopgap, you have Chuck Schumer say, abolish ICE. It can be done. It can be done. It can be done. Thank you all. Thank you, Danielle. I know you got to run for Dean. Say hi to Dean for me.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Be well.
And don't be a fascist.
Don't be a fascist.